I kept my true self hidden for only one reason, the same reason I come here tonight. Here to save my sister. Oh. Alright, that's me. Oh. Oh! Oh! Okay. Has he been posing as me on purpose? He did seem surprised when he ran into us. Is he posing as me to protect me this whole time? I realize this is rather confusing to you. Let me explain. When our family refused to help overthrow the shogunate and was destroyed, you were taken in by Kodo, and I was taken in by the Nagumo family from the Tosa domain. We were separated. That's our family. Kodo, not father. Each word out of Kaoru's mouth hit me like a fist. Our real parents were long dead, and the man I'd thought to be my father was not even related to me. What other truths were really lies? Ha! Kaoru gestured at his face, so uncannily similar to my own. I share your face, and yet you still won't believe me? Perhaps my sword will convince you then. There we go. There's the other pair. My Daitsuren is the companion of your Shatsuren. They were separated along with us. Aww. Why does he get the big sword? Not fair. As much as my mind resisted the idea, there was no denying that his face and his sword were proof that we were connected. Can we do tradesies? So, you're a demon too? Yep, I am. You seem awfully calm, Okita. If we were born in the same house like Kaoru claimed, then he would be a demon. Should I be excited? None of this is really my problem. Can I ask you something, though, seeing as you're a demon? You just plan to use her like Kazama does? What? Like we're related? Tension in the room suddenly snapped taut. Looked back and forth from Okita to Kaoru, not sure what to do. Kaoru simply smiled. No, that's not my intent. Can I ask you a question in return? What would you have done if I'd said yes? Would you have tried to stop me with that broken body? The room was silent. When Okita spoke, his words were what I'd expected and feared. No, you're free to take her. I don't care what either of you are up to. Okita. I see. Okita. I'd known just how little Okita thought of me, but to hear him say it, there was a part of me, a small part, that had hoped for a different answer. He's not happy with his health, and he's trying to, like, brush me off as quickly as possible, trying to, like, throw me off into some hitched ride. He cares a lot about me, he's just being a jerk. Now, will you get out of my way? No, I will not. You can't fight anyone right now. Like hell I can't. You're awfully determined, aren't you? Very well. Near. Oh, snap. The bottle Kaoru held out, shone in the moonlight, the thick red liquid inside licking silently at the sides. Recognized that liquid all too well. Kaoru, where'd you get that? Kodo gave it to me. Oh no! My father gave you that! Excellent. Good. We have a new connection. We have a new lead. We're gonna find my dad. Not my dad by birth, but my dad. I have been told to cooperate with Kazama and his men because of their relationship, the Kazama, Choshu, and Tosu. Kazama, Choshu, Totsu. All of those together have a whole lot of demons on their side, including him. So, that's not good. Kaoru, that's bad. We're gonna need any edge we can get. But if I plan to simply use my dear sister as some sort of demonic broodmare, I can't allow that to happen. If their plan is to, not my plan. Because Kaoru's like, that's gross, and she's my sister. No, he cares so much. So you want me to drink the water of life and protect her, is that it? Seems pretty selfish. Sorry if it seems that way, but the choice is yours. You can lie in bed, cursing your illness and crying for battle, or you can drink this and become a fury. No, Okita, you can't! Okita had seen the suffering of the Furies countless times. They're almost pitiable creatures who couldn't bear the sun's light and went mad at the scent of blood. If you became one of them, yeah, we knew where this was going. We knew all along. Okita didn't answer. He fell silent, his eyes glued to the bottle and its blood-red contents. But we didn't know how it would come across. Not a choice that he came to himself, but one that was kind of forced upon him. Very interesting. The water of life was evil. It drove good men mad. How could my brother offer Okita this horrible thing my father had made? Please, Kaoru, don't do this. If you're really my brother, and you really care for me, then why are you doing this to Okita? He's gonna drop the bomb. He's gonna be like, 'cause you can help him. Nope, never mind. We're gonna have our hand forced. 4 Furies, 1 guy. He reached for his sword. 2 guys, sorry, and me. 3 guys. 3 guys altogether. For his sword the moment he saw their red eyes, but his body no longer obeyed him as it once had. His hands fumbled on the hilt and his sword clattered to the floor. This is all I am now. Soji Okita, the captain of the Shinsengui's 1st Division. What was Okita thinking? Was he sad at how pointless he felt? Angry? He doesn't even have any political affiliations to what's been happening. He doesn't really care. He doesn't give a shit. And in the darkness, I could only barely see his face, and whatever emotions it displayed were hidden from me. Then suddenly he moved, snatching the bottle from Kaoru's hand. Okita, no! If you drink that! He glared at the Furies, perhaps taking in the monster he was about to become. Then he looked over at me, and on his face was the faint, sideways smile I'd seen so many times before. Man, you really never shut up, do you? He threw back his head, and I watched the red liquid drain from the bottle. Why are you smiling at me like me? This is creeping me out. Kaoru's smile. More Furies, hungry for blood, poured into the room. I froze, terrified. Blood fell like rain, blood drawn by a white-haired monster who had left his humanity behind. I don't want to see him like this. I don't want to see him like this. This was Okita, the Fury, Okita the Beast. In exchange for the strength to lift his sword once again, he had traded away his soul. The carnage lasted only seconds, though it had seemed much longer. All that remained with the Furies were broken and bleeding corpses. This has been a consistent theme of the story. That in order to keep your macho manhood, samurai, biznasty, keep your swords wielding going, you have to drink the poison, the cursed. You have to curse yourself. Be a slave to the blade, in a way. It's romantic, but there's some weird, like, gender provocations that happen here because the only people who drink this are men. So, yeah. Yeah. Very macho, I guess is kind of the main point. Fresh blood dripped from his pure white hair, the proof of the curse. Happy now? Kaoru Naglomo? Like, yep, that guy. Yes, I am. You are splendid, Soji Okita. There are no words to express my gratitude. He clapped once, and a cruel smile split his face. For falling into my trap! Oh, damn it. Even with the water of life, the battle had weakened him. I caught Okita just before he hit the floor. Okita, are you okay? Why did... His hair was back to its normal color. It had hid only temporarily his true nature, but to even have a piece of the old Okita back was a relief. Was I a fool for feeling that way? Chizuru, you asked why I, your brother, would offer the water of life to your dear Okita. I didn't understand. What was he saying? Kaoru smiled again. You don't get it, do you? I gave him the water of life precisely because you care for him. What a jerk. That's just mean. That's not even very smart. That's not clever. Like, I thought you had a trap, like you had, like, he was some kind of key that you had to kill for some reason, and now you have him weakened state to do that? That's just, like, out of spite. Glared furiously at this boy who claimed to be my brother. What's so funny, punk? I only smiled wider. Oh, I'm not smiling because it's funny, I'm just happy. I'm happy I gotta make my sister suffer. My sister had such a wonderful childhood. Okay, that's what I thought. See, this is what I thought. We come in, we're just like this whole naive thing, and we just show up in Kaoru's life, and we're like, sup, Kaoru? You're like doing this whole thing, and he's like got all these secrets underneath him that he's kind of suffering with. His voice had changed, there's a manic edge to it now, and the more he talked, the more grotesque, his grotesque grin twisted his face. In his eyes I saw more madness than those of a fury. The Nagumo family had hoped for a female demon who could bear them children. They were disappointed to discover they had ended up with a male twin. I suppose I can't blame them for what they did. I simply wasn't equipped to produce children. No matter what they did to me, I was worthless. How many times had he been told how worthless he was? When he spoke, the word had the sound of one he'd heard so many times that it was simply a part of him. Of course, anyone who told me that has long since been dispatched. Oh! Oh, well done getting your revenge. I wasn't such a fool to guess, I couldn't guess what that meant, to speak of murder so easily. I have the same blood and the same face as my sister, but because I have the wrong equipment, I was treated like trash, less than trash. Whose fault do you think that is? That gets into a lot of narratives on gender. Both, not just modern, especially modern trans narratives, but also modern narratives of firstborn bloodlines, and histories of male or female, if I can speak words correctly, desireship specifically for genitals, like societies that demand women for procreative reasonings, or sometimes it's political, sometimes it's societal, sometimes it's class-based reasons where it's upper class people needing to have an heir. It's very, there is like the Chinese views of having firstborn sons being important. There's the feudal Europe having views of being able to pass your king, you have your first of kin being a man as well, so that you can pass everything down the patrilineal line, or just having a daughter to do these things. But then in this situation, you're trapped in not necessarily the wrong body for yourself, but the wrong body for another person, and that is fucked. Kaoru, I'm sorry. But it doesn't have anything to do with me, so why you gotta be a dick to me? Looked at that hideous smile, twisting the flesh of his face, my face, and shivered. Does it bother you to see this face smile like this? I know how you feel, sister. Whenever I saw you happy, it made me so angry. That last word, he lunged for my neck, hands outstretched. Fingers like iron closed around my throat. I'd like to see that face again. The one you made when Okita, the human, died, and Okita, the monster, was born. Sadly, I don't think that's possible, but oh, it was delectable. Far better than I'd imagined. I'm glad I chose someone you really cared for. I did this to myself. I was asking for this. Had you chosen to trick Okita just to see me suffer? You. Oh, does it hurt? Are you frightened of me? Oh, but this is only the beginning, dear sister. He let go of my deck. I fell to the floor, my chest burning. Raw, hacking coughs tore their way out of my throat. As Kaoru faded into the shadows, I saw the last gentle smile, and then his laughter filled the night. Chizuru Yukimura, your brother will always be dreaming of your misery. That's beautiful. Person who wears my face. My own brother. That's brilliant, I love it. And it's freaking scary as all hell. Tears began to pour from my eyes. There was a man, my brother, who hated me so passionately that he would destroy another man for no other reason than to hurt me. Okita! My hands tightened around him. Okita didn't care about me one way or the other, but because I cared for him, he'd been thrown into hell. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. The assassination of Ito, the destruction of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, was later known as the Aburanu Koji incident. Both the Shinsengumi and the Guard were surprised by the sudden appearance of Satsuma troops, and by the demons who accompanied them. Both parties had fallen for the Satsuma trap. The battlefield was thrown into confusion. During the fight, Heisuke was mortally wounded, had no choice but to drink the water of life, become a fury, or die. As the Battle of Aburanu Koji was taking place, the headquarters of the Shinsengumi came under attack from Chikage Katsuma. When the Fury Corps joined the battle, the line between friend and foe grew blurry. Okita found himself forced to drink the water of life in order to defeat several of his former comrades. With this, Okita and Heisuke joined Sanan as Furies. The monstrous thing my father had made was slowly devouring the Shinsengumi. How long before the water of life swallowed them whole? brings us to December. That was a lot. I'm going to get through this recap, or post-cap, or whatever it is, what happened last month. And then we're going to save, we're going to take a break. Scarcely a month had passed since Aburano Koji, Saito, and Heisuke had returned, but the Shinsengumi was hardly back to normal, a dark, tense atmosphere, something. Sorry, hit the button too quick. Many men who had lost their lives in Katsama's attack. Even more had been injured during the Battle of Aburano Koji, among them was Heisuke. Several of the rank-and-file soldiers had seen him mortally wounded. He had looked as if he would not survive. Oh, but Harada, it could be so sad. Heisuke, officially dead, and a member of the Fury Corps. Saito hadn't been wounded, but many among the common soldiers began to call him a coward. To them, he had left the Shinsengumi to join Ito, then betrayed his new master when he sensed a change in fortunes. I saw no reason why he shouldn't set them straight and say that he was never truly left the Shinsengumi, but he claimed he would rather stay silent than tarnish the honor of the commander and the chief, who had ordered his actions. Or Saito. As such, it was decided that Saito would leave the compound until tempers had been allowed to cool. He was sent to slay at Tenma in order to protect Kyotaro, Miura, an official of the Kyushu domain. Ah, that's a complicated bit right there. So, we will save it here. Oh, come on. Got a couple save slots. Yeah, let's not exit the game. That's where we've got it. Thank you guys for joining us this far in Hakuoki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. It has been intense, to say the least. Things have escalated in a big way. And this has been a roller coaster, to say the least. Just trying to keep Okita on his feet as best as possible. And, yeah. He's a tough guy to keep up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time for more Hakuoki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom on RDLP.